Martin won it. It is now Lilian Calmejean who takes the polka dot jersey. Alberto Contador is taking second after second after second. 52 now is the lead. Sean, he leads by 21 seconds now on the road.
Yes, well, it's looking really good for Contador. We can see Henao here. He's just, setting to his pace now and just trying, ride as fast as he can and, work out as well, make his calculation that he can go all the way to the top, because if you go too fast for a kilometre, then you start getting into difficulty. You have to be able to work it out that you continue on this pace, but it looks like Contador has the better pace for the moment.
These short stages can be fantastic. We've seen it in the Vuelta a España and the Tour de France, particularly in the last couple of years. Only 115 kilometres today, and there was an air of excitement, wasn't there, around the buses today at the start. They knew that Contador would try something. I said a break of 24 got away, but as soon as we hit the Coupe de la Paix, it really did explode. And again, a word for Hadlin Sumpantano. I know you mentioned him, Sean, earlier on. He was absolutely incredible in setting up the attack. Contador attacking with 52 kilometres to go. And still the gap grows. Henao is going to need some serious help and some serious recovery on the downhill, I think, if he's any chance of retaining the yellow jersey onto the final podium.
Yes, well, we see here, it's 19 kilometres to finish, 19.6 exactly. Col d'Aix 15 kilometres, so there's quite a bit to go, and if it continues on, the seconds ticking away in the advantage of a Contador, it's going to be difficult for Henao to pull anything back to hold on to the race leader's jersey in the final descent.
We mentioned it the other day. Contador will be hoping that this isn't 2009. He'll be hoping he has eaten correctly, he's fed himself correctly, because it's a long time to be out there attacking and thinking, just about concentrating on everything with no teammates around you. Will he have eaten or drunk something? I think a lot of his fans will be hoping so. There is the Colombian champion, Henao. Dan Martin still has Julian Alaphilippe here. There's Johnny Aguirre second wheel as well. Richie Porte, another man, I think, who was looking forward to the show that he would be able to witness today. We saw him at the start today. He knew something would be happening. Stage winner yesterday. Contador, in the meantime, is with De La Cruz and Soler. De La Cruz, a teammate of Dan Martin, original breakaway. Soler also in the break today. In fact, Movistar had three men up there. Oh, Richie Porte attacks. Richie Porte attacks. Here we go. Porte obviously feels very, very good a day after winning, and Henao is being dropped. Henao is collapsing. And I think this might be it, Sean, for the yellow jersey.
Well, we can see here Richie Porte seems to, knock off his effort, and Dan Martin just takes it up here. He has to, do something here as well. And, he can see that the yellow jersey is in difficulty and tries to push on here.
When we spoke to Richie Porte, one phrase he said, I think Sergio will be okay today. He thinks that Sergio Henao will be fine. He's not looking fine at the minute. Dan Martin hitting the front. Is Aguirre. Nobody coming through helping him. Richie Porte again going. And Porte is looking really good. Porte is looking fantastic. Can Henao follow him? That's the question. And looking around there, Porte, as well. Looking around to see what the damage is. Henao on his wheel. Doesn't continue riding for his old teammate. Lets him come through. But 56 seconds. Alberto Contador leads París-Niza by 25 seconds on the road. Remember, there are 3, 2 and 1 bonus seconds on the descent from Col d'Aix. Contador is in a group of 3 up the road at the minute, so even if he came last in that intermediate sprint, he's going to take another bonus second. And of course there are 10, 6 and 4 bonus seconds on the finish line. It is looking very, very rosy for Contador here.
Yes, looking really good, and if he continues on riding like this, and the two other riders here will stay with him, if they just take the bonifications from him all the way, well, still he's going to pick up 5 seconds here, and 56 seconds of advantage. The question is Richie Porte finished here? But Henao looks like that he's recovered there. He's getting back into the rhythm again and able to match the attack of Richie Porte when he goes. That tells that he's still pretty okay, because it'll ride like this on the front, but advantage. The problem is 55 seconds at the moment.
Is he going to do it? Well, we'd love to hear from you as ever on Eurosport Cycling. Hashtag Home of Cycling or at Rob Hatch TV if you wish to comment and participate. 17.6 kilometres to go. We're being told on race radio, despite the graphic saying 54, there's an extra 6 seconds to add in. They're screaming 1 minute the gap. 1 minute for Alberto Contador, and there are still 2.5 kilometres to go to the top of Col d'Ez. By my calculations, I make it about 20 seconds alone that he's put into it now, just on this mountain. Marc Soler, winner of the Tour de l'Avenir a couple of years ago, attacks from Movistar. The Catalan rider able to drop the man from the centre part of Spain. In fact, 2 Catalans in this group as well. De la Cruz and Soler, both Catalan riders. Alberto Contador is from the Meseta in the centre part of Spain, very close to Madrid. Little town in the community of Madrid called Pinto. And Marc Soler, what an acceleration that was.
Yes, well, a big acceleration, but will he be able to keep it going? We can see Contador, just continues on, working away out of there and keeps his pace. But Soler, an impressive attack. He's been, sitting on. He's been on tour for quite a while, so you can do that. But will the question be, will he be able to continue on?
Well, Christopher B says, why is the quick-step rider helping Contador when Dan Martin's still in the reckoning? David de la Cruz hasn't helped Contador at all. He has just sat on all day long. He's not got up there and played for things with Contador. I think what he's doing is hanging on, and if he could take the stage win at the end, then he'll try and do that. For the minute, and now we see it up on the screen now, what we were told a moment ago. 1 minute the gap as Zakharin opens up. Zakharin on the left-hand side, the Russian. Richie Port, very, very active today as well. Most of you who have tweeted think that Henao is done. As you just suggested, though, Sean, he's looking a little better than he did at the start of the climb.
Yes, well, he's getting into his rhythm and he's climbing quite well there. We can see those other riders want to push on. Zakharin then for Katusha. Yeah, 1 minute and 3 seconds at the moment. The problem is when you get onto the descent of Col d'Ez, there's a few riders with Henao there that maybe will ride, but the advantage is it's going to be, if it continues at this all the way to the summit of the Col d'Ez, it's going to be too great to pull that amount back.
It's going to be very difficult indeed. By the way, about 10 seconds now for Soler on Contador and De la Cruz. De la Cruz there, sits on, holds on. Contador tries to force the pace yet again. Obviously still feeling good enough here. Because he might be spectacular to watch, but he's not silly, is he? He knows how to manage his effort.
Yes, well, he has to manage his effort, and as you mentioned about eating and that, we haven't seen him eat anything because he's really been going for it. We can see he's got no drink left, no bottle on the bike, and sometimes it can hit you, very, very quickly. And we're hearing race radio there now, Dan Martin going in the attack. And
Jonis Aguirre is following him. Aguirre is there, and now can't follow this time. Takes a while to get on top of his gear as he's on the pedal there. He's fighting, he's giving it his all. Certainly kudos for him on that sort of level. He really is fighting hard, is Sergio Henao, as you'd expect with the yellow jersey. But as you say, Sean, it must be a few kilos heavy because everybody who's had the yellow jersey in the last few days really has struggled the next day.
And the problem is when you're riding on the front, as the yellow jersey has been, and somebody attack you, you just have to try and continue at your pace and maybe up it a little bit, because if you try suddenly to, follow and accelerate quickly, well, that will really kill you because you have been riding for a while. The other ones, although it's on a climb, they are still in the drafting and gives a little bit of an advantage.
Contador then with just less than 1 kilometre to go to the top of Col d'Ez. Then it's descent all the way to the line. Intermediate sprint and bonus seconds available. Marc Soler in the meantime is pulling out quite a bit of an advantage. And there's the yellow jersey on the wheel of Michael Matthews. Jonis Aguirre is up there and has found a teammate in the shape of Sonny Colbrelli, who's dropped back from the original break. David de la Cruz waits and does his job as a proper teammate to Dan Martin. He's been brilliant today in the break since the start.
Yes, well, it's been a good situation for Quick-Step to have a man up there. At the moment, he is in a good position, but will he continue on with Contador? Not a lot to gain for Dan Martin here, because with Contador out in front, even if they catch up with Contador, he's not going to really move up, I think, now in the general classification. So I think they will play the card of De La Cruz here in front, and hopefully it comes back together for the stage victory.
Alberto Contador's the road just start to even out a little. Again, it is Jon Izagirre who wants to get something out of this race for Bahrain Merida. Remember, there are podium places in play all day long here. As it stands, as Dan Martin tries to follow him and the yellow jersey now does his best to hold the wheel, it is Alberto Contador who'll be winning Paris-Nice, with Dan Martin in third and Sergio Henao up there in second place. But with 15.4 kilometres to go, a descent from Col d'Ez, bonus seconds available both in the intermediate sprint and on the line, there is much more to go. So Contador, 16 seconds, 18 give it behind now. Marc Soler's putting himself in a great position to take a stage win, but he's still got around 40-45 seconds on the yellow jersey. All he needs are 32 seconds to win Paris-Nice. And there's Alaphilippe. Alaphilippe has a go. So Quick-Step giving it a real go today. Julien Alaphilippe in the green jersey. He looks set to win the points classification. And the riders all over the road, dropping from the original breakaway now. Another spectacular day here on Paris-Nice. "15 kilometres to go, we're close to the top. De La Cruz for the first time coming through and working.
Yes, well, I think De La Cruz, you know, they've worked it out in the Quick-Step team, and I think if De La Cruz works a bit with Contador, if they can pull Soler back, well, then he can have a good chance to go for stage victory. It's not going to change a lot. The only way, if Dan Martin can get away from Henao, the race leader, that way it could change the situation. But otherwise, it looks like that, you know, it's going to be for Dan Martin, the third place in general classification. So it seems like they're just Quick-Step floors are riding for the stage victory at the moment.
Quick-Step one stage victory. We saw Patrick Lefevre, the team boss, around the start today. I didn't see him smile once. He didn't seem in a great mood, did he?
No, well, Patrick, we don't see him smile a lot, and I think after yesterday's stage, he's probably feeling the effects.
He had a suitcase packed and ready to go to the airport. I wonder if he's watching it from his private jet. Big Patrick. Marc Soler, the man at the front for Movistar. Sprint 1 kilometre away. So he's on the descent now from Col d'Ez. Intermediate sprint in the town of Ez itself. Then we descend to Villefranche-sur-Mer and Nice itself. Finished today, by the way, on the Quai des États-Unis. It's at about 150 metres closer to Ez and the town of Ez than it is normally. Of course, no public events allowed on the Promenade des Anglais in Nice following the awful terrorist attacks that took place here last summer. 59 seconds then back to the yellow jersey. That suggests that Sergio Henao is pulling some time back.
Yes, it looks like that the time is coming back to Contador, and of course we can see there the attacks of other riders, you know, that sudden acceleration as we see Zakarin here pushing on. All of this is helping the yellow jersey at the moment, and Contador, you know, he's been there on the front end of affairs for a long time. It's normal he was tiring at the top of the climb, but again, you know, it's going to be a difficult one unless we really make a very fast descent with this group of the yellow jersey, and Contador does struggle out front. It seems that Contador could go on and win this Paris-Nice.
So it's going to be either 2 or 1 bonus seconds for Alberto Contador, as it's Soler who takes 3.3 bonus seconds. 2 bonus seconds, in fact, for Alberto Contador then. So now he is in the lead. Of course, he was 31 seconds behind at the start of the day. 2 off that. 29 now. He now needs to beat Henao to the line by 30 to win Paris-Nice.
The Snowboard World Championships, live tomorrow on Eurosport 1 with the team event in snowboard cross from Sierra Nevada.
Henao has recovered over the top. Amaisi riding out of his skin to try and save Paris-Nice here. Contador, Sean, has just started to struggle in front. He's struggling to close out the wheel of De La Cruz, who is mightily fast on this descent into Nice. There are less than 10 kilometres to go, and the gap between Contador and Henao has gone down to about 13 seconds now. in terms of the overall. He's 35 ahead, because they're 10 behind Soler, and he needs 30 seconds, so it's a question of 5 seconds between winning and losing Paris-Niza on the road at the minute.
Yes, well, it's all to play for here for the win of Paris-Niza. We can see Contador start to struggle because De La Cruz, he just pushes on a bit, and Contador had difficulty staying the wheel. He just had a big fight to get back in there, and now he's, you know, just pushing on again, and they can see Soler just out in front. He's, you know, starting to struggle also, and the group of Henao, he's really pushing on, and there's other riders as well, you know, just attacking all the time. And this run in also, the final 8.2 kilometres to go, it's not downhill, it kicks up a bit. It's a difficult terrain when you're after riding so hard. In a big group of riders is okay, but the way they've been racing today, the big fight has been on for a long time, everybody is starting to feel the effects.
We saw the spectacular view over the Mediterranean Sea there, the town of Villefranche-sur-Mer, which will pass at 7 kilometres to go, just another K down the road. Then we'll get to Nice itself and enter the town at 4.5 kilometres to go. A couple of twists and turns around the old port, even a final little rise before they descend again onto the Quai des États-Unis and the promenade here in Nice. Alberto Contador looking to win the race to the sun for the third time, but for the first time in 7 years. If Henao can pull this off, Sean, Sky will have a quite phenomenal record at this race.
Yes, well, it will be an amazing record, and it's looking like that. Yeah, it's still possible because you know, 43 seconds the advantage at the moment. We can see out in front, you know, Contador wants to push on all the time. De La Cruz, you know, he's been a great help to Contador because he has been doing the riding there to pull back Soler, who was out in front alone. And now it's a question of, you know, up here in the group of Henao, yellow jersey, we can see he's just giving it everything. Is there some other riders who will just give him a little handout in the final number of kilometres, because he will need that, but still 35 seconds at the moment. It's all getting really, really tight.
Well, basically, Contador, after those 2 bonus seconds, trails Henao in the standings by 29 seconds. The difference on the road between them, 36 seconds. Contador at the moment winning by 7 seconds, but there are bonus seconds on the line. The fact they've taken Soler back, if they can stay out in front, that could be the difference between winning and losing Paris-Niza. 10 seconds for winning the stage, 6 for second, 4 for third.
Yes, the problem is for Contador, he's going to have difficulty taking, you know, the first or second place, because he's going to have to ride all the way, and you know, the two men, De La Cruz and Soler with him, they will just, you know, keep a bit in reserve to go for stage victory. So for Contador, he has to keep riding here. We can see 39 seconds. Other riders starting to come on the front here of the chasing group of the yellow jersey. It's going to be down to just a handful of seconds.
And it's as we started. We have been spoiled rotten this week with entertainment and brilliant bike racing at Paris-Niza. It's been an absolute pleasure to watch and talk you all through this race, and it is not done yet. Contador, the hero, the showman, is giving his all. And we talked about that possible increase to the magnificent Sky record. If Henao was to win today, what would it be? I think 4 victories in 5 years, or 4 victories with 5 victories with 4 different riders, something like that. Wiggins in 2012, Port 2013, of course Betancourt the interruption for Agir Desert, then Port there as well, Thomas last year. So yep, it would be 5 victories with 4 different riders in 6 years for Sky, if Sergio Luis Henao can continue to pull back Alberto Contador, who has laid on the show today. Whether he wins or loses, I think he's won another legion of fans if he didn't have enough already, Sean.
Yes, and the way he went out and you know, attacked a long ways out, that is, you know, the amazing thing of Contador, because when you look at the distance, over 50 kilometres, around the 50 kilometres to go, he went in the attack. It's a long ways on a parcours like this, and you know, it's proven it's taking effects, as we can see now, just hovering around the 30 seconds at the moment. So it's really getting difficult for Contador, and he's just giving it his all here and just trying to hold on to as many seconds advantage as he can to the finish.
I have a feeling that in a couple of 100 metres time, Henao is going to be back in virtual yellow jersey, because the gap is 29 seconds and Contador needs 30 to win. 3.8 kilometres to go. We're back in Nice, and Contador pedalling away for his life. Oh, it looks as though it's going to go down to the bonus seconds.
Yes, it's going to be very, very tight, and it looks like that the group of the yellow jersey is the one who seems to be just making inroads into the advantage of Contador. We can see, you know, there's a number of other riders also riding here, and yes, Contador, the difficult one is to take maximum time bonification is not going to be possible because he's doing, you know, the big share of the pulling here with the other two out front.
Yeah, he's not the known sprinter. Well, having said that, Soler has one win to his name in his career. That was a stage of the Route du Sud last year, helped by his teammate Nairo Quintana. That was a Tourmalet stage. De la Cruz, of course, had a very good Vuelta last year, 75 kilometers per hour. Inside the final 2.8 kilometers, still descending into Nice, Alberto Contador with another show, try to finish it off with a win. This time last year it was Sky who were chasing on with Contador in front. Those big 54-tooth chain rings that helped Geraint Thomas. Some very, very clever work from Sky on the day. Has Sergio Henao got it in him to bring it back, and at the minute he's back in the yellow jersey because the gap is down to 27 seconds. Oh, what a day. It's heart-stopping stuff. 2 kilometers to go. And he's getting help, Sean, from Jonas Aguirre.
Yes, Aguirre has been riding for, you know, quite a while. We've seen him, he's, you know, giving a little handout and pulling on the front, and that helps a lot. But we can see Contador as well. He's riding away from the other two here, and, you know, what a performance by Contador considering the way he's been riding all day. And if he can continue on, we can see the two chasers, you know, Soler, De La Cruz, also suffering because of this very hectic final.
Well, let's do the maths. There's 1.8 kilometres to go. If he wins and takes the 10 bonus seconds, added to the 2 he's already taken, starting the day at 31 seconds from the leader, he would be 19 ahead, 19 behind, pardon me. Can't even do the maths here. 19 behind coming into the line. So you'd have 19 seconds to get over the line, would Sergio Henao. Contador is putting in one of the rides of his life, and that is saying something. He invokes the spirit of Fuente de every time he goes on the attack like this. At the minute, the stage victory could well be his. De La Cruz, though, is making a big, big move into it. As you can see, the Flamme Rouge, 1 kilometre to go, just up ahead. It's going to be so tense, so tight. We lose the time gap, and I think we're just going to have to count as soon as he comes across the line. Whatever happens, this has been some day to remember on Paris-Nice. With 1 kilometre to go, Alberto Contador leads, but De La Cruz, Sean, is closing in.
Yes, De La Cruz is just clawing his way back here, and, you know, it looks like that he's going to get back to Contador. Soler looks like he's finished, you know, he's not able to follow here, and now it's down to De La Cruz, and he looks like the one who is the strongest. But Contador, what a ride there on that final number of kilometres.
Well, it's going to be at least 6 bonus seconds, we think, here for Alberto Contador. Every single one of them could be vital. We're told that it's 25 seconds between Contador and the yellow jersey on the road, with 1k to go, that was. Contador himself, though, is just 300 metres for the finish as they come down the hill. 500, pardon me. Contador is there. We think that De La Cruz is primed to take the sprint, but Soler now is chasing back. This is an incredible race on the last day in Paris-Nice. Oh, what an advert for cycling. What an advert for short stages. And Alberto Contador is always involved in the spectacular. It is De La Cruz who chases out to try and win it. Contador is on the wheel. Can he go and take the stage? I think it's going to be De La Cruz who will do it, though. De La Cruz there, the quick step. It's been a great week for them as well. David De La Cruz takes the win. Contador second with 6 bonus seconds. And it's down to Sergio Henao, who has to come across the line quickly. Henao is there. He's being led out in the end with the sprints coming in. It's Colbrelli who wants to win the sprint for the minor chases as the time ticks on. 16, 17, 18. How quickly can he get across? Oh, he might have just saved it, has he? And he's done it. He's saved it. Sergio Luis Henao has won Paris-Nice. Oh, wow. It looked as though it would be Alberto Contador's day. Many will say he deserved the day. Heart attack stuff to the line. Contador has put his heart and soul into this, but finishes in second place, Sean.
Yes, second place, and looking like it's going to be 3-4 seconds, maybe 5 seconds. That's all is in it, and Yes, we could see that group of Henao, a number of riders there pushing on in the sprint as well. Of course, when somebody takes up the sprint, you win a second or two there with Corbelli, pulling the group along, and Henao coming in that group. And yes, Contador, what a performance, but just not enough there in the tank in the final.
What a day. Another one we will not forget in a hurry. Sergio Luis Henao is the winner of Paris-Niza 2017. Sky have now won it with 4 different riders on 5 occasions in the last 6 years. Contador has amazed us once more, and David de la Cruz is the stage winner. It's de la Cruz from Contador from Soler on an all-Spanish podium on the 8th stage. But the main headlines go to Colombia. Their second ever winner, Sergio Luis Henao of Team Sky, just weeks after he took his national championship, has held on to win Paris-Niza. And he's shown a great strength of character to come back there, Sean.
Yes, well, he certainly had to have, the character, and also not to panic in the cold days. He was in difficulty there, a number of riders attacking him when he was having to set the pace for, quite a while, and just kept his head, kept his cool, and it worked out for him in the end. And Contador, of course, again, same as last year, put in, a super performance on this final stage, but just not enough in the end.
Please don't retire sometime soon, because this man has provided so much entertainment. Obviously not a happy man at the moment, obviously disappointed, and there he is off talking to the French national broadcasters, but I think he'll certainly have the moral victory.
Bueno, pues sí, ha vuelto a faltar un poquito, ¿no? Ha sido...
Well, yeah, I had a go today. It was very close. It's a shame that I managed, or didn't manage to do it. Yeah, it was a long way to the end. I went 52 kilometers to go, but I'm really happy because I put on a good show and I had fantastic feeling and good sensations. The team were good, the race was a great spectacle, and I'm proud of what I did out there. And I'm happy to having made people enjoy their race today. We couldn't win today,
Alberto,
but I'm satisfied.
On vous aime pas, mais ce qu'on peut dire, c'est que vous êtes un remarquable attaquant.
We like you, we don't like you, but we know that you're one of the top racers.
Ça fait partie de vous, comme ça, vous deviez.
You've got great fighting spirit, Alberto. You had to attack and you attacked.
Mira, pues sí, es así.
Yeah, of course. I'm like that, that's me. I really need to do something different. Of course, it's easier if you can just follow the wheels and follow the roads and you're just on the podium, but I prefer to risk everything and to attack and to try and win. You have to try to make and pull off the victory, 3 or 4 seconds behind, but I'm happy that I tried. Happy that he tried, and I think everybody watching is happy that he tried.